Hey guys, today we're going to go over how to build an aviary or a chicken coop, whatever you want to call it. It's going to hold some birds. Hey guys, the first step is building these panels. And so the way I built these panels, I basically took one of these metal sheets and I built my frame around that. I essentially made it the size of that, which is about 26 inches wide and then 8 feet across. So then I started building these panels, and my whole coop was going to be 8 feet wide by 16 feet long, and so I knew I needed 6 panels, and that's what I built. The next thing I did once I had all the panels built, came around and then I added this wire cloth. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the same stuff that I made my door out of, or my window rather. Alright, so this iron cloth is what I did to go around the perimeter of the inside. This is just to stop predators or mice, or really anything from coming into. Once that was done, I tried to square it off as best I could. Here I tried to do a 3, 4, 5 angle to make sure I was like square. And I did that in every corner, and so I ended up having like a 3-piece panel and another 3-piece panel, and eventually I added those together. And the way I did that, I added them together with a 2x6. Alright, once my base was done, what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a decker board or more runner board on top of my base, and it helped reinforce bringing the whole panels together. But the real reason I did it is so that I have something for my actual hoops or my top part of my aviary to actually have something to sit on and that was flat and that ran all the way through. And what I used for this, I used a 2x6 to give it that extra size where I can actually do more with it. Once I had installed my runner boards, what I ended up doing is I screwed in a 2x4 on the back side of this 2x6 so that I had something to put these are actual cattle panels to. And so I went through, screwed all the way through, and so it made an L shape. Or it made an L shape so that I can come in and put my cattle panel and then basically push against that, and then it would create this hoop look. And so this is what we ended up with was this hoop. The cattle panels themselves were $20 each. They're about 50 inches wide, long, high, and then they're 16 feet across. All right. And so what I ended up doing, I pushed the cattle panel in, created this hoop, and I needed 4 to run my whole 16 feet across. Once I had my hoops in and my perimeter set, it looked good, but it didn't have the stability that I wanted. It was probably going to be fine and you could have stopped there, but like I said, I wanted more stability, and I knew the structure was going to be like semi-permanent, and so I wanted to make it a little bit nicer as well. So what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a pillar and then a backbone. I call it a backbone, and that's basically going to be that board that's running all the way through. It's connected there with a bunch of wood to help reinforce it, but it runs all the way through, and it helps keep the structure from swaying back and forth. And then I added a beam in the center to basically create more stability. And then one more thing I added for stability was a board that runs from my runner boards, my perimeter, all the way through, and it's again connected to my center board, and basically it makes the whole structure more one, and so that it's not each individual piece is moving or from each other, and it just helps bring it all together. One of the last things I did is I ended up putting this wire mesh on the opening to basically kind of seal that in. And then I created a window, guys. And I decided to do a window instead of a door because, one, I didn't want like four-legged animals coming in here that easily, basically dogs, right, or anything else, but all right. And then one of the last things I ended up doing, I ended up creating these perches. I basically took up leftover 2x4s and 2x6s and ripped them to like the 1 and 2 inch mark. Hoping, I didn't know how much what the birds would actually like, and so I did a couple different sizes at different heights, hoping that they would like something and then perch on those things. And again, added security that they're able to perch at a height, and so that if anything does come in, they still have to try to catch them up at their perch. As you can see, this perch right here is kind of around the 5.5 foot mark, and then I have another perch that's closer to the 7 foot mark. Right there, and then have one more there, and I may add more as time goes by. Just kind of see what the birds like, and then I'll add that from there. And again, that's all coming off of my top beam, that backbone I have running across the entire structure. And guys, one of the last things I ended up doing is I ended up buying a tarp on Amazon, and that ran the entire size of the hoop. And I knew the size of the hoop because I knew my cattle panels were 16 feet long and by 4 feet wide, and I knew basically the dimensions. And I ended up getting a tarp off of Amazon. And the way I attached these guys, I basically took staples, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 1/4 inch staples, and stapled it into my runner board that I have going across the entire thing, and just so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my build. Hopefully I helped you guys out in either doing this build or doing something, a variation off of that, to help you get some height onto your chicken coop or aviary. If I helped you guys out at all, please help me out by subscribing to my channel.